Welcome to the Alain Elkann interviews, an unprecedented window into the minds of some of the most well-known and respected figures of the last 25 years.
Today we are with Coco Brandolini. She's mostly a designer. When you were young, you went to school and you studied philosophy and politics.
Politics science, yeah.
So why did you turn to fashion?
I always loved clothing also because I grew up in beautiful clothing thanks to my mom and my grandmother. So I do think this had a lot of influence on me. But I wasn't sure when I was really young to want to work in fashion. But then as I was studying, I think it came to me. And especially what really happened is I had to do an internship for my university. And for some reason, I ended up doing an internship at Oscar de la Renta in New York. And I thought it was going to be for 3 months and go back and get my diploma and everything. And
that was when you were at St. Martin's, or you were...
Right before.
Right before.
Yeah, university I did in Paris. So I went to do this internship thinking after 3 months I will be back to my, studies, whatever. But in the end, he hired me and I stayed there 7 years. So it was pretty unexpected. And I think it was a chance that I met him and then we got along so well and everything was very smooth. And I've learned so much with him. And that's how I got introduced, I think, not to fashion, but to work in fashion through this internship. That ended up being my first big job because 7 years is a long time.
Yes. And then you went to school again.
Yes. No? And then when I came back to Europe, I wanted to come back to Europe after maybe another 2 years in New York doing styling for magazines and stuff like this. I knew at that point that that's what's going to be my work life, let's say. So I wanted to go back to school to learn more technicalities, like, a bit of drawing and things like this. So I went to St. Martin's to do a course. And then I worked again with other brands until eventually doing mine. But
yeah, you worked for the brand Ferretti,
Alberto
right?
Ferretti for a little bit. Bottega Veneta
with Thomas Meyer.
And then my big sort of job after Oscar was Dolce Gabbana.
Right?
Because that lasted for 10 years.
There you were responsible for the haute couture,
yeah.
Right?
And it was really incredible because I think my 2 big learning experiences was my first job and my last being working for someone, because Oscar, I've learned everything and it was my first time for everything. And then Dolce Gabbana was much more secure of myself because I was older and I had worked for many people. We created a project together. That was what was so interesting because, he hired me, Domenico Dolce, for the haute couture. So it was really interesting for me because we created this together.
So you were mostly raised between Paris and Venice.
Yeah.
You lived in New York. You worked and lived in New York.
Mm-hmm.
You studied also in London.
Yeah.
And then you worked in Milano.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And I still do. Yes.
What is the difference between these cities, for the fashion, for someone who starts in the fashion world?
For someone who starts or someone who works?
No, you started and then you worked.
Yeah.
These cities, Paris, London, New York, Milano, are the cities
that I've known.
Fashion cities, right?
Yeah, completely.
Yes.
New York is a very good first experience because New York is New York, so everything is very fast and you have to learn quick. And when you're a young person like I was with my eyes open and ready to incorporate everything in me, I think it was a very good city to have a first job in and to work because I think then you're pretty much ready for everything, I think. But then Milan, to me, I have to say, is the best city where I've worked because of all the made in Italy and the fornitori, how do you say? The Como, you have the silks, and then you have the artisan that makes the most beautiful bags, and the craftsmanship, let's say. Fornitori, I don't know.
Yeah, the people where you buy your...
where you manufacture your things.
Yes.
And that's why, everything is made in Italy, as we know. And so to be here for me was the most, I think, interesting and efficient city, Milan, for me to work. Even with my brand, with Dolce Gabbana and everything, in Italy, there's something in Milan specifically that is very efficient. Everything is here.
And that's why you made the jump in Milan?
No, I made because my children were born here. I came before because my husband, then boyfriend.
No, but the job in the sense that you opened Dada, your own company.
Yeah.
And you opened in Milan.
Yeah, because my family was here. But I actually really love living here. My family is here, so of course I had no choice, but maybe I would have chosen Milan also in other ways.
Anyway.
I really like Milan, I really like Milan and I love to work here for the reasons I said. I love to take my car and I can go to Como in half an hour and choose the most beautiful fabrics. I love to take my car and go to San Gino and have my manufacturer. Everything is around. So for me, that's really nice to have this access.
You worked for many years backed by important brands and by important
names
designers and names, right? Dolce Gabbana, Scadenarenta, Bottega, and so on and so forth. At a certain point, or on the top of your career with Dolce Gabbana, still you decide to make a jump. And instead of being an employee, you decide to be an investor and your own boss. Why did you? It's quite brave to do this. You know? Why did you decide?
Because I always had in mind to do something of my own, because I had a very specific idea of what I like and my style and everything. And Dolce Gabbana, I still do, but I had a very close relationship with them. It's also, I'm saying the story because I think it's interesting in my sort of way of deciding, is because if I had left Dolce to go to another brand or everything, it would have been too painful for me because I love them so much. And, we had such a great relationship. So I thought this is the right time, because if I say that I'm doing my own thing, and we cannot fight, because I'm going on my own. I'm not going for a competitor and everything. So
and they were nice about that?
So nice.
Very nice.
Yeah. It was a good time for me. And I was really happy to go to my boss that I admired so much, from which I've learned so much, and to say, listen, I'm going, but I'm going to do my own thing. It was making me very proud. It gave me the courage, I think, to do it, also my own brand, because I knew that they were going to help me.
What happened? You opened your own atelier and store in a very special place.
Yeah, because it's
Via Montenapoleone, which is the main fashion street in Milan, next to all these other brands, right? Next to the Pradas, the Armanis, the Pianos, so on and so forth. So what is Dada? What is your idea? Why did you want to do your own thing?
First, because of working for many years in big brands, I knew I didn't want a big brand. I didn't have the ambition to do an empire and to open stores everywhere. So my concept was to have something small and very exclusive. I like the idea. It's not a store. It's in Montenapoleone, but you actually have to go up the stairs 3 times, and then it's in a little room. Like it seems very luxurious, but it's really not. And I like the idea of it's a place, it's like an apartment that you go and you make an appointment, that the clients only talk with me, everything is from me. It's very personal, very authentic. Everything that I do is only what I would wear, and I wear all my clothing all the time.
And this is prêt-à-porter, no? It's not haute couture.
No, it's prêt-à-porter. I don't do on order. But it's very beautiful fabrics. So it's a luxurious prêt-à-porter, in the sense that many brands don't do this kind of fabric for prêt-à-porter because it's too expensive. And I like the exclusivity. I like to have my clients with me in this apartment where we show the clothing. And in fact, it's working really well, because I think now the fashion, as we all know now, so many clothing, so many days, so many different brands, so many creative directors that change the identity. But I think to have a strong identity, and Domenico Dolce, who gave me amazing advice when I left, he really helped me so much. You have a beautiful story, you have a very specific style that you like or you don't like it, but it's very specific.
So can you know what is this specific style? What is different from that to other brands, or whatever we see?
I think it's quite daring, and the colors, and even, for example, all this stuff. It's quite daring, and it's quite unique in the sense that it's the mixing, I think, makes it very unique. And I think that's what my clients like a lot, is when they come, is that they mix everything together. And they love also the fact that it's maybe this skirt I only made 4, and this top I only made 5. They like that it's very limited quantity. And the fact that they're not going to go to a wedding and have everybody dressed the same. You know?
But what kind of woman it is, Dada's woman? I mean, there are no jeans. What do you make?
No, I think it's a woman. And I've met so many of my clients, obviously, because of this one-to-one experience. And they're usually very strong women, travelers. It's funny. They're very similar to me. And that's what I found really interesting, because I found so many clients that had so many people that I knew came, of course, or come. But I've met so many people that I never met before. And we all have a similar sort of moms, working, travelers, curious, quite eclectic in the way that they live and the way that they dress. So it's quite interesting. They're quite similar.
Like long?
Yeah, I mean, the style, I think, is hard to say, because you could say of course, long skirts. So it's relaxed and luxurious, relaxed. Somebody said this about me or like this, but I think it's very feminine and quite comfortable. But I think very feminine is mostly the word.
Feminine means sexy?
No, could be sexy, but feminine in the sense that the colors are feminine, the shapes are feminine. It's very womanly, I think. It's not trying to be cool. It's just very...
And they say that you do a lot of research on details.
Yes.
On buttons, on cheeks,
a lot of research on that. And I use only old buttons, which is really fun because I have to go all over Italy nelle mercerie.
To find buttons.
Yeah, and that's really fun actually for me because I've met wonderful people too, crazy people that collect incredible quantity of buttons. They have houses full of boxes of buttons, which it was interesting discoveries. And yes, the details are very important. So the buttons, I use old trims usually that I get traveling, that I apply on the fabrics, and people really like this. So yeah, lots of research on the fabrics, on the prints.
But you cut the clothes yourself?
No,
No,
I don't know how to cut. I mean, I know how to recognize and how to change it, but I don't know how to. I mean, I could do it, but I've never learned the technical, like to make a pattern and all this stuff. I don't know how to do it.
But you draw your clothes?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
But I drape. I work on me mostly. Like I take the fabric and I go to my manufacturer and we do it together. And I really trust also people that work with me.
And it's a fashion for what kind of women? Very young women, old women?
I don't have like 18-year-olds. I mean, it goes above 25 or something like this. No, so it's not young. But I have from 25 to 70.
It's not young because is it expensive?
Yes, because it's expensive, of course. And also I have some very cool girls that bought, especially like I have these LA clients that are great, like young girls that are very like artsy and everything. So it is cool in the sense that you can mix it and everything. But I think it's more of a woman. I think it's really, if you ask me the woman, I think it's really a woman like me, like your daughter, that work, that travel, that want to be comfortable, but yet with beautiful quality, that know quality because it's all very high quality, the silks and everything. And I think there's women that know fashion already and that they look for something a bit different, a bit more exclusive, they like the fact that it's hidden. Even when they come to the place, they love the fact that you have to go through a stairs and then another stair and you think it's Montenapoleone, but then you're behind a church. Like this whole experience really worked.
But tell me something. You started just before there was a kind of crisis in the world of fashion, right? Nowadays, things are not as easy as before.
Right.
Maybe because prices are too high, maybe because people, they don't want to spend less, there's competition, and so on and so forth. How do you position yourselves in this world?
I think you're right. I mean, we all know it's exactly like this. These past years, there's a bit of a crisis of luxury, especially. And I think mostly for the prices and also because I think there's too much for the customer. There's so much in your face, so many seasons. No, I don't know if you know, but the big brands all have 4 shows a year. So
you don't have shows?
No, I don't have shows and I only do 2 seasons, winter and summer.
And you change every season?
Yeah.
Or you have new...
Yeah, I change.
You change.
It's a whole new collection. Twice a year. Mostly of the big brands do 4, sometimes 6 a year. So I think also people that see so much and how I position myself in the price-wise and everything, I'm like the brands of like, I mean, more or less like Dolce & Gabbana, Pret-a-Porter, Dolce & Gabbana, Prada, all these brands. But it's just very different, I think, for the clients, the experience and the fact, I mean, especially the women, they really love and that's interesting to me. They really love the fact that it's almost unique. I mean, almost in the sense it's like 5 pieces of one, 6 pieces of, that aspect is really important. I think so that positioning is very different from the others.
So you're not feeling the crisis?
No, not at all. No. I mean, I have so many friends, of course, that work in the big business, meaning the big brands. And they all tell me all the time, you're doing so well to keep it like this. But people ask me to sell in other stores, to do wholesale. When you go, I don't know, to Bon Marché, and you say, I never done that.
You only want to sell
only for me.
Napoleon?
Yeah, only for me.
And you don't want to grow?
No, I'm growing because business-wise, because I'm selling more. But yeah, that's the other question that people make. People always say, you're doing so well to keep it like this because it's healthy, because my business is very healthy. It's growing slowly, but it's growing. And especially I'm free. I'm completely free because I don't depend on anybody else. Like if I find a fabric beautiful, I just make it. I don't need to have deliveries because the store is waiting for the 10th of November for my, this is a very important aspect of my business. And I think it's a big luxury, this freedom. But at the same time, of course, then you ask, well, okay, so how are you going to grow? Because growing means opening business, opening stores and doing it.
Maybe not.
Maybe, exactly. No, I don't think I'm going to grow so much.
You don't want to have a store in New York and one in Paris?
No, because otherwise it's going to ruin the whole concept and the whole idea that it's exclusive, that it's the
and
freedom.
The concept that people want you.
Yeah, exactly. No? If I do this and that, it's very much linked to my person being there.
Being Venetian by family Venetian. It's a bit the concept, I'm sorry to say this, but of the Aris Bar in Venice. There are many similar.
Yeah.
And people want to see the owner as well.
Yeah, and say hi to him and feel that they have the good table. I think it's a lot about that. And I understand, because if there was something like this, me as a customer, I would go straight to that.
And people have to make an appointment to come and see you. They cannot just come.
They can, but it's complicated because, again, you don't find the place. Because it's Montenapoleone, but it's really like, it looks like we are not. So no, I mean, they can, but they have to call me, because otherwise they're not going to come there. They're not going to arrive because it's really like this. So they have to make an appointment. And people, I think, they a bit, when you welcome them in the space, like especially the Americans, in a very sweet way, I think, oh, thank you so much for receiving me. Like, they have this thing that they have the designer is herself, even though.
Did you see Milano changing since you live here? Are there many more foreigners, many more international people?
Yeah, they're not really my clients, these people, I have to say.
They're not.
What I'm observing, and that I'm observing these last years, a lot of people come to Milan. Like, I have lots of women that come with their husbands for work, or they come forward. There's even more passage. People that come and go. I don't have so many clients in Milan, but like Milanese people that live in Milan.
But this turnaround, Milano, has changed a lot. The city became
so international.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot. I see it. I don't know if you see Milan so different.
No?
No. I mean, there's more international people, yes. But the life is pretty much the same.
Fashion seems to be very, very important in Milan. We have seen with the recent death of Giorgio Armani. I mean, it's a huge event, celebration, shows.
Because I think Italy and Milan specifically is so important for fashion. And that, I think, is very important to say and to remind people, is because all the artisans, all the factories, and all the people that make the fabrics, the people that make the buttons that I don't use because I use old buttons, but like the buttons, the zips, the shoes, everything is in Italy.
Talking about shoes, you have a new venture in your life. No, you already did a collection,
a collaboration
with Christian Louboutin, and now you're preparing another one.
Very exciting.
What kind of deal is it?
We are old friends, as you know. Actually, I asked him the first time because I want to do a collaboration. I think it's very interesting to do collaborations in this small kind of business, because then again, you're very free. I can do vases. I can do, any kind of collaboration. But I wanted my first collaboration to be with someone that I cared about and I really admire. And Christian was perfect. And I love shoes. And so I asked him.
What kind of shoes you like?
Everything, boots, flats, heels.
You don't wear heels?
I don't wear heels much, but I love them. I don't wear them because I want to be comfortable. But I love high heel shoes. I have them in my house. I look at them. I don't really wear them, but I love them. And so I asked him, actually, thinking at the worst he's going to say no, nothing happens. But he said yes. And we did a small first, and it went really, really well. And now the second time, they asked me to do it again. So I'm really happy.
Can you describe this kind of shoes? That's similar to the clothes?
Yeah, that's similar to the clothes because we use, and again, he insisted to do a small collection like the clothing. So it's like only 150 or 200 pairs, which for Louboutin is nothing. It's a very small collection. And we use only our old fabrics, the fabrics from my collection. And again, we do like 5 pairs or 7 pairs of each. Like, again, very the concept of exclusive.
And this you sell in Milan in your atelier, or they go into the Louboutin store?
Next one, I don't know. We're going to decide. The first one was sold in my atelier and in the New York store in Madison Avenue.
And it was successful?
Yeah, very, very successful.
And it happens that people who buy shoes, then they come to buy clothes? Or?
Yeah, it happened that too. But I have to say it was quite separate. It was quite separate. But a lot of my clients bought the shoes, a lot.
And are you going to do accessories also?
No, I do bags, but not with him. I do bags. It's called the cherry bag. It's a cherry shape, but it's been doing really well, the cherry bag. But no, I'm very happy to collaborate with someone which can help me doing what I don't know how to do. Like shoes, for example, I don't know how to do. I have my ideas, but I don't have the factory. I don't have the technicalities. So for me, it's very interesting to have that conversation.
Now, sometimes, like in art, in art, for instance, you very quickly say this is a Fontana, this is a Giacometti, and you recognize
the style, the coloring. Yeah.
Do we recognize Dada?
Yeah. That's what I'm really happy about, yes.
So how would we know this is a woman dressed by Dada?
I don't know, but I think also the fact that it's a small collection, so You recognize also because the memory has to work to a certain point.
No, but
but
a person who, not
doesn't,
you, but somebody.
no, I think recognize it because it's quite different. And I think in the choices of fabrics and colors, that's what I think personally. I think it's really the colors together and you recognize these aspects and the fabrics used and the buttons that are usually very original because, again, they're old and sometimes hand painted, sculpted. So you recognize. And I think there's a bit of an idea a bit of not a club, but like since
Your
it's small.
grandmother, Cristiana Brandolini, said to you, I don't know when, she said nothing has to look rich.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't think it looks rich. I mean, it's high quality, but it doesn't look rich. It's not in your face. It's quite discreet.
Your mother says long flowing shirts, flat sandals.
Flat sandals. Yeah, I have all these skirts because these skirts are the ones that are doing best for me. Yeah, it is. Long skirts. It's relaxed.
But what is your idea? That one woman dresses in the morning in one way and that will be for the whole day?
Yeah. I don't really have night things, but I really do think, and I see with my clients, for example, even this outfit, like if you wear one of my tops with the skirt and everything, if you wear it with flats, it can be day. Then you put a heel, it becomes night. I think it's quite versatile. Yeah.
So you can arrange it.
Yeah, that's what I like about it.
You said you have 2 collections per year. What about the vintage? What about the left? Imagine that you don't sell everything.
Yeah. Well, but I'm happy to say that it didn't happen yet. So
because you sold everything.
Yeah, because it's small. So it's small. I think people like it.
How many people you are?
3. Me plus 2. Yeah. It didn't happen yet, but I guess I would keep it and I can still sell it because I have no season. I have no rules. I don't have a store that I have to take off the store.
How old is your eldest daughter?
Almost 15.
You think she will follow the tradition of the Brandolini women?
No,
because
fashion.
Your grandmother was very interested in fashion.
Yeah.
Your mother worked so many years in fashion.
No, I think my second one, maybe. I don't think my first one. She's not really interested in I mean, she likes clothing, but she wants to be comfortable. She wants to be cool. Like, she doesn't think about, My second one is more interested. Like, she comes with me to flea markets and she comes to my office all the time.
So there will be a follow-up.
Yes, I think there will be. The second one, I'm trustworthy that it's going to be the second one. I hope. I'm building it. It's funny influences because even with my daughter, my big one, for example, right now she wears gray, black, white. She's very monocolor. And I remember I was like this too, but I really think what you see and how you grew up with, and especially my grandmother, if you read some of the articles, you see that when I talk about her.
It's very different, your use of colors. Not that you're similar, but it's more like Christian Lacroix than it is like Giorgio Armani.
It's true. Yeah, very much so. Yeah. I like to dare to go. And this fabric, for example, even to wear this is a beautiful fabric, for example, to wear during the day. Maybe you wouldn't do this, but I do it, and people actually quite follow me in that aspect.
Why? Because you find that life is a bit sad, and therefore it's better for some people.
Or just I think it's so nice to be feminine and to dress well. I always tell this to my daughters. It's very nice to dress well, like to make an effort.
What about jewelry?
I don't do jewelry, but I love jewelry, but I don't do jewelry. Not yet.
But maybe with your clothes?
Yeah, it works really well. It works. Yeah, because I think what's interesting about this clothing is since there's so many colors, then you can match everything quite easily,
Do you think, having seen since you were a child a lot of
I was talking about
well-known
fashion shows since I was very small.
Great couturier, from the Valentino, Saint Laurent, Dior, and so on and so forth.
Valentino.
Do you think that fashion has changed?
I don't think it's changed. I mean, change. I don't know if it's the word change. I think fashion is a real testimony, how do you say? Témoin of your time, of the time you live, especially witness, especially through the young people. So I don't think it changes. I think it's really a witness of the time, of how people want to dress. I mean, now women are more like, of course, since decades, but the working aspect, women want to be more comfortable, they're more confident, and so the fashion adapted. Then men dress much more in a way that they're much more free than less classic, and they want to wear pink and they want to wear this, and some men wear heels.
You don't do men.
No. So I think fashion doesn't change it. I think the business model has changed, but I think clothing, I think that's what's really interesting about, and Franca was saying this too.
But it is important to tell a story, the storytelling.
Yeah, and that's what Domenico advised me, especially if you're a small business. Yeah, the storytelling, but the identity, like to be a strong identity. People respond to this. And I think in Dada, the identity is so strong just because it's only me. So it has to be strong because it's one person. And people really respond to this because there's no fuss. It's exactly Coco, what she would wear, what she likes, bam. The message is very, very clear, you know, and I think it's really important, even through Instagram. And that changed the way of communicating fashion. And I said a lot through Instagram. Just when I show a picture of me and Domenico Dolce.
So you are your own
model.
Yeah,
because always me. That's another thing that I would have never thought of, me personally. I've always thought to use girls, models, and Domenico Dolce again said, you have to promise me you're going to put the clothing only on you always, which was really interesting to me. And I understand his point. It's not about being beautiful or bad. I mean, whatever. It's not about that. It's about the identity.
You have a similar name, Coco Chanel.
Yeah.
Was always wearing her own clothes and tires.
Yes. But she was doing shows, and so she had models and everything. I don't do shows, but I only put myself in the clothing. And whenever, if I put someone else, it works. But if I put myself, I have much more reaction, which is interesting.
How it is now that you have the experience, the difference between being Coco, Dada, and the experience you had before. There's less, different kind of
very different.
Tension.
Not tension, you're more nervous because it's your business and you have to make it work. And you have to pay these two persons, which is very small, but it's still two persons that have to pay. Like, you know, the pressure of it. But at the same time, it's so fulfilling to me. Especially, I touch wood when I was working, that to see these women that come back. I mean, the other day I had these women that they want to come from Hong Kong and they buy my clothing without even knowing me, and they just buy the clothing all the time like this. To have this thinking that these women that I don't even know, that just like my clothing from so far away, that buy my clothing without even knowing, touching them before, seeing them or trying them the first time, and now they fit it and it was perfect, so they keep on buying. That's very satisfying to have all these people like this for me.
So
it's very nice for me.
The world of clients, let's say, became more global.
Yeah.
And it's interesting if an Asian woman likes the same clothes.
Yes. Yeah, it's very interesting. For me, it makes me very proud and it gave me a lot of confidence.
And do you have more, let's say, American clients? Or
America is a big market for me. And they come to Milan, and when I go there, because I do pop-ups in New York.
You do pop-ups?
Yeah. It works really well. Very fast.
Where do you do your pop-ups?
In New York. And I'm going to do one in Los Angeles, I think, because I have lots of clients in California. And but for example, I was in New York in last November, and I had this client from Seattle that I've never met. And she came on purpose for the day to New York to look at the collection, to buy the collection. For me, I was like head over heels, because it's just so incredible that a woman would come on purpose just to see my clothing. It's very satisfying.
But I don't want to insist.
Yes.
But the fact that you left, such backing, even if you were free to do what you thought was nice, but you had the eye, of course, of Dolce and Gabbana.
Yeah.
Sometimes you were frightened when you found yourself alone.
No, it's funny, not really. Well, that was really surprising to me, because I think I started when I was 42 and after 20 years of working in fashion. So I think I felt very secure and very strong about my division. I never felt really frightened. I'm not being arrogant in the sense that I'm not saying, I knew it was going to work and everything, but I was very confident in my product and in my vision. And in fact, it's another thing that Domenico told me many times, like, if you're confident and if you follow your gut, and if it really comes from you, everything from your heart, and you don't start to adapt to the market and doing something that you don't like, it won't work. And he is right.
And you like this idea of being you?
In the beginning, for me, I hate taking pictures of myself because it bores me and everything. So for me, I was like, but now I got used to it. Yeah, I like it. But it's not my motivation, but I like it. I understand it, especially.
And who is Coco nowadays? Who are you? What do you do?
Coco.
How do you work? You have 3 children.
Coco is basically a lot of a mom, because 3 children, not so big, is quite intense. No, and I really like the balance of this life of mom and working. And I love for my girls to see that I'm working and doing my own thing. I think it's a very good example for them.
They like that.
Yeah, they come to my office, they comment on my clothing. Oh, this is Dada I love. And they say to their friends, my mom makes Dada. And they show them, and that makes me very happy when I see my girls. Yes. And it makes me very happy to see my girls proud. And
how is your routine? You said you go around, you go to markets, you stay there because people want to see you.
Yeah, but now in the last few months, I'm happy that I managed that my assistant is able to do a lot of the appointments even without me.
People will be disappointed.
Some people, if it's a big client that I've known for a long time, I will make it, the effort to be there. If I'm not in Milano, to be there. But I think now the product, and that makes me happy, is strong enough in this small range of clients that I have, that I don't need to be there. And that's very important.
But you're not in the windows.
No.
So how does it work? By word of mouth?
Instagram, a lot through Instagram. In the beginning, lots of word of mouth. The first 6 months, my friends and words of mouth. And now a lot of Instagram, a lot. I'm very surprised, actually. People say that Instagram works really well, but it's true. It's a way of communicating.
It makes a big difference.
Big difference.
And some people buy online.
I don't have an online, but they contact me through Instagram, and then we send pictures, and sometimes they come. If they don't come, we send pictures, measurements, and they buy, and then we ship.
How many different sizes you have?
The usual, from 38 to 44.
Because
so
not everyone has your...
No.
You're very thin.
38, 40, 42, 44. Yeah, so it's 4 or 5 sizes. So I have sizes. But my client is quite like me, body-wise.
It's very much you.
Yes, I know. But yeah, it is. Because I think it's like what Domenico was saying. I think if people are attracted to this, if they are, then they want to not be like you, but they want to dress like you. That's what happens. Like, that's why we are men and we do campaigns with women, because then the woman, they will identify to what they see of the woman wearing it.
From your family, you learn kind of style that is not a style, something that is not in the line. And what do you advise? What is your idea?
Point of view to clients when I...
clients, yes.
Yeah.
Because obviously every woman wants to be beautiful.
Yes, right? Of course.
Or attractive.
Yeah. I think it's very important to wear what you feel comfortable in. And I think lots of women now, you see them in parties and everything, they wear a certain kind of dress because they think they're going to be like, but they're not comfortable. I see it right away that they're not comfortable. They're too tight, or they show too much and they're not used to it, or they have too much high heels. Like, I think if a woman is comfortable, to me, that's what is attractive.
Comfortable with herself.
Yeah, but also with the clothing she's wearing. Like, she can sit the way she wants, that she's not like contrived and she's not, I always say this to people when they come to me.
Is it better to hide or to show?
I think to show. Comfortably to show.
That's why many colors.
Yeah. Many colors, and I show the arms, but they fit in a certain way that they're, again, I think they're very comfortable.
You never did a wedding dress?
No, not for that. I did many years ago for a friend of mine, but not for Dada. I mean, they asked me, and I try not to take special orders. It's too complicated for us. We're too small. I don't have an atelier, like I have to go. So we don't really do on orders. But it's fun for me also because I had some great encounters with great women.
You have also very famous people?
No. I had some like actresses.
I mean, you're not trying to dress famous actresses?
No. Because it's, again, the exclusivity. It's also this that you don't see the clothing that somebody buys and spends money for, giving it for free at some actress,
And you had experience of people, 2 women who meet and one says to the other, where did you buy this?
Yeah.
There is a bit of that. Like, as you don't show the label, you're not...
Oh, no, I've had many clients.
Some clients saying to another person,
many times.
Where did you buy this?
Most of my new clients is because they see someone wearing this and they say, oh, what is this? It's different. And so it's Dada. Where in Milan? And then they talk. I saw my friend, Lauren, a lot of this, which is really nice for me because it means that the client is happy in their clothing, if people ask.
There is also a large group of people who like thrift shop,
vintage
and things like that. So your clothes are new, but sometimes they look a bit like vintage.
Yeah. They're very inspired by vintage shapes. I mean, not specifically, but the fit is very important for me. And the way I think it was before, mostly when designers were working, the most important thing was the fit. How a clothing, how a piece of a dress or a skirt or a top would fit. In that way, it's inspired by vintage. I'm very careful about the fit. Like where the breast, and I think of, below the arm, those aspects. Very, very. So that's why I think also the woman, and I think back in the day, vintage clothing, people love vintage clothing also because the way they fit is really special.
And also they were made, the craft was
exactly.
especially haute couture.
Yes, the way it fits on the waist, and you have all these corsets and underneath, and all this. And for me, that's very inspiring, and it's always in my everyday inspiration because it's the most important thing to me.
So as many others do, you're not in a luxury way to try to compete with the Uniqlos or the Nike of this world, right? Each one, this big label, they try to have sneakers, they try to have blue jeans that are very expensive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And at the same time, you can buy them similar in places like Zara, like Uniqlo. You is completely different.
Yeah, it's completely different. It's very different because it's very personal. For that, it's very different. I think people are missing authenticity sometimes in the brands today, you know?
So you're not very afraid of artificial intelligence?
No, not for me. For my daughters, but not for me or for Dada, no.
So if you had to describe yourself, who are you? What kind of person you are? You're disciplined, you're tough, who are you?
No, I'm very, stubborn, for sure.
Stubborn.
Not tough, but very stubborn. Like, for example, if my factory tells me, okay, no, this is going to be ready in 3 days, but I need it the day after. No, I mean, I'm exaggerating, but I will be convincing them. And
they have to do it.
Yeah, but I'm not tough. I always do it in a very nice way. And very often, thank God, I convince them eventually. But I'm very stubborn. Like, I don't know mollo in that sense. So it's good, but it can be very annoying for some people around me also. So this, not tough. Disciplined, yes. I think generous of my time and with my friends, with my family, of course. And my priority is completely 100% family and my kids over my work, even though I love my work.
When you are in a business, you're also very careful to the accounts.
I am. I have to, but I am.
You're not spending too much.
Not so much, because I should be a bit more careful, but I am. I have to.
So you have common sense.
Yeah, I have common sense, absolutely. I'm very concrete. Pragmatic.
Stubborn, concrete,
and pragmatic.
But soft.
Exactly. It's a good,
So thank you very much for being with us today.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
When is the next season collection?
Now. Yeah, these days it's coming in. Days. And now it's Fashion Week here, so I have...
And what about the shoes?
Shoes, January.
Yeah. And again, New York and Milan?
I think Los Angeles.
Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So good luck for everything.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Alain Elkann interviews.